Okay, before you come at me about the title, let me explain. I love Blade and Sorcery a lot. It's a great sandbox arena fighter and one of the first VR games I've played, so it has a special place in my heart. But, like me, if you need something that has a little more substance than that right out of the gate, allow me to introduce you to... This may be the most challenging VR game I've played. Besides getting curb stomped in multiplayer games like Pavlov, those guys are scarily good at that game. Anyway, I went into it thinking I was gonna be another arena fighter, but with actual dungeons and some progression. I was wrong. Well, kinda. Unlike Blade and Sorcery, Battle Talent already has a full progression-based game inside of it. Proper levels with different visuals and dungeons, experience and unlocks, a perk tree, and a stupid amount of weaponry. It's a proper hack and slash dungeon crawler, and it has the difficulty to back it up. I read a couple reviews mentioning, don't let the first set of levels fool you, it gets hard. Bitch, I was struggling on the first optional mini-boss. You mean to tell me it gets even harder? In my defense, I am way better at the game now. It just took some practice. I'll say if there's one thing that this game excels at above any other game in the field, it's showing me how terrible I would do in an actual fight.
Damn. God, this game is fucking hard.
I don't know if it's the difficulty or the late spring heat and humidity, but this game works me out. After 30-ish minutes, I'm exhausted, sweaty, and need to sit down. In fact, every recording session I've done for this video has lasted like 45 minutes tops. Seriously, it is hard. Enemies will dodge and block your attacks with terrifying effectiveness. Traps, while not well hidden, can hit you hard if you're not paying attention, and the sheer number of enemies can become overwhelming very quickly. But because of the difficulty, it is the most satisfying time I've had in VR. Whipping around and landing a crossbow headshot makes me feel things I can't exactly talk about here. And that's not even getting into the variety of Battle Talent's arsenal. I don't know exactly what I was expecting, but this is way above and beyond. You saw in the intro cinematic, but these weapons are insane. I certainly was not prepared to suddenly be handed a revolver and told to go nuts, much less a shotgun or these stabby hand blade things that can also shoot stuff. It's like it was made for me, truly. Also, with the crossbows, you can place your melee weapons into them and fire them at your enemies.
What? No! No way! That's so cool! That's so fucking cool!
You haven't lived until you've rocketed a ranger sword at a skeleton in Mach 5. That said, there are certainly some interesting choices mechanically when it comes to some weapons. All the ranged weapons have infinite ammo. You pull at a bowstring and an arrow spawns. You pull a trigger and a bullet fires. This seemed a bit OP to me until I realized that the more powerful ranged weapons use mana. Mana is regenerated through hitting enemies with melee, which I really like because it keeps you engaged and an active participant in combat instead of hiding behind a wall waiting for your mana to regenerate like a coward. Battle Talent does also feature a weapon durability system to keep your playstyle on edge and keep you thinking. And you know what's crazy? I don't hate it. I've spoken at length about how much I hate weapon durability mechanics, but this one is implemented so well, I barely notice it. While weapons are holstered, they regain hit points over time, so you don't exactly run the risk of losing any good weapons you pick up. Also, every enemy drops their weapon when you kill them, so even if you do get stuck without a weapon, you can always just take one. There's also an incredibly fun, though quite janky parkour system. Wall running, being able to stab daggers into wood walls and climb on them? Yes please. Though I assume it would work better on a quest or something, this game does not like the index knuckles. It has a lot of trouble fully understanding if I've grabbed something or if I've let go of it. It makes putting the spell crystal things in the gloves really hard.
Oh. There we go.
Also, the clearance areas for the inventory seem a bit small, and I struggle to get items off my right hip. The dungeon crawling is one of the most interesting experiences I've had in VR. The hallway and arena assets do get a little bit samey, at least in the first 3-ish level groups, but they're packed full of traps, enemies, and fun pots to smash for free experience, so I'm never bored. Every so often you come across chests with weapons that you have unlocked previously, and it's a pretty big pool. Luckily, you can disable any of the weapons beyond the starting view to make your chances of playing with some certain weapons greater. There are also dungeon-confined upgrades that boost health and damage, as well as curse altars that give a power-up with both a positive and negative effect. Most seem to be kinda shit for my playstyle, but I've come across a few good ones. I, however, don't particularly like that there doesn't seem to be a checkpoint system. I understand that may be the point, but I really don't want to redo the entire 5 or more section dungeon because I died to the final boss. I'm already exhausted from the first time. All that does is lead to me turning off the game for the session, though I do come back pretty much every time not much later. There's also quite a few typos and various tooltips and such that make some things near possible to understand, but that's going to be some easy fixing, I assume. As far as looks, it's alright. Pretty standard dungeon fantasy stuff, nothing that really blows me away, but it is nice to look at. Though I think we've proven time and again that gameplay beats out high fidelity visuals every time, and this game has got the gameplay. I've been told that there's an in-game mod menu with a lot of mods, but either I haven't unlocked it yet or I just don't know how to do it. Once I do though, I'll do a separate video on that matter another time. I'm thinking that once we're done with Jedi Survivor and I get OVR Toolkit working again, I'll try to stream some of this game once or twice. It might make a fun special stream or something. I don't know, I'll figure something out. Anyway, that's all I have. Thank you for watching, and I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, I would recommend leaving a like. Also, maybe check out some of my other stuff. Perhaps you'll find something else to enjoy. Alright, my body hurts, so I'm gonna go lie down. Bye.